On the night of May 1st, 2025, a small home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, was completely quiet. 2 children had been put to bed, a 6-year-old girl named Lilly, a 4-year-old boy named Jack. By morning, they were gone. No footprints in the yard, no ransom note on the kitchen table, no broken windows, no Amber Alert, just 2 empty beds, and a silence that has lasted 10 months. Most people know the basics of this case, but what you are about to hear goes far deeper than anything you have seen covered before. Because in the last 60 days, this case changed, and the man at the center of it all just walked into a courtroom, said nothing, and walked back out. His name is Daniel Robert Martell. He was 34 years old when the children vanished. He was their mother's common law partner. He slept under the same roof as Lilly and Jack. On the last night, anyone can confirm they were alive. He has not been charged with anything related to their disappearance. He maintains he had nothing to do with it, but there are 5 things about Daniel Martell that investigators simply cannot explain away. And by the time we reach number 1, you will understand why this case is being treated, not as a missing persons investigation, but as something far darker. Stay with me, because this story is not what you think it is. Before we begin, I want to give you something most other videos on this case have not. Not a recap of what you already know. Not the same timeline, not the same photos, not the same questions. What I want to give you is the version of this story that starts 60 days ago. The version that starts with a courtroom and a prosecutor who made a decision that changes everything. On March 2nd, 2026, Daniel Martell appeared in Pictou Provincial Court in Nova Scotia. He stood at the defendant's position, arms at his sides, eyes forward. He did not speak. And then the Crown prosecutor, a senior lawyer named Bill Gorman, stood up and told the court that the prosecution would be proceeding by indictment. Most people scrolled past that detail in the news, but if you understand Canadian law, you know that those 3 words are not routine. Proceeding by indictment means the Crown believes this case is serious enough to pursue the absolute maximum penalties available under law. It means they are not offering a quick resolution. It means they are going to trial. It means they believe what Daniel Martell allegedly did deserves every year of prison time the law allows. And the court date is set for March 30th, 2026. Less than 4 weeks from now. Remember that date, because something is coming. Number 5, the reward that should not exist. When Lilly and Jack were first reported missing, the Nova Scotia government offered a reward for information, $150,000. That sounds like a standard response to a missing children case, but it is not. That reward was issued under the Nova Scotia Major Crimes Reward Program, and if you go and look up that program right now, you will find that it exists for one category of crime. Not missing persons, not runaways, not parental abductions. It exists for murder, for manslaughter, for violent major crimes. RCMP categorized the disappearance of a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old under the same program used for homicide cases within days of the children being reported missing. Think about what that means. Before a single search had been completed. Before the first week was even over. Before the public had any idea what was really happening inside that investigation, police had already decided this was not a missing persons case. This was something else. And $150,000 is still sitting there, unclaimed. 10 months later, nobody has come forward. Nobody has taken that money. Either no one knows what happened to those children, or the people who do know are not talking. And the reasons they might stay silent bring us directly to number 4. Number 4, the crimes that happened before the children vanished. On January 27th, 2026, RCMP arrested Daniel Martell. 3 charges: sexual assault, forcible confinement. Every major news outlet in Canada covered the arrest. And in every single story, RCMP included the same line. These charges are not directly related to the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. I want to acknowledge that statement because it matters legally, and because I am not here to tell you Daniel Martell is guilty of anything. The charges have not been proven in court. He is legally presumed innocent. But here is the detail that every outlet mentioned once and then moved on from. Those alleged crimes, sexual assault, and forcible confinement, are alleged to have occurred between September 1st, 2024 and March 5th, 2025. September 2024 to March 2025. Lilly and Jack disappeared on May 2nd, 2025. That is a gap of less than 2 months, less than 60 days between the end of that alleged abuse timeline. And the morning 2 children were no longer in their beds. Now, I am not asking you to draw a conclusion. I am asking you to sit with a question. If the allegations in those court documents are true, what was happening inside that home in the months leading up to May 2nd? What were Lilly and Jack living through? What did they see? What did they hear? What did they know? Because children who witness violence sometimes become inconvenient. Sometimes they say things. Sometimes they tell teachers. Sometimes they tell neighbors. Sometimes they become a reason to act. I am not saying that is what happened. I am saying that is the question investigators are sitting with every single day, and it does not get easier. Number 3, what he said and what he didn't. Daniel Martell gave interviews after the children disappeared. He spoke to media, he appeared on camera, and what he said revealed something. Not necessarily guilt, but something. In one of his earliest interviews, Martell was asked about the children directly, and those who study language, investigators, behavioral analysts, forensic linguists, they noticed a pattern. When innocent parents talk about their missing children, they say my kids, our children, my daughter, my son. They place themselves inside the relationship. They pull the children toward them in every sentence. Because that is what love does. That is what grief does. But Daniel Martell used different constructions. The children, the stepfather, referring to himself in the third person, creating distance in the language, distance between himself and those children. Now, I want to be fair. Stress changes speech. Grief is unpredictable. People in shock do strange things with language. But here is where it becomes impossible to explain away. In a June 2025 interview, Martell described the polygraph examination he underwent. He said it himself, on camera, to a reporter. He said the very first question investigators asked him was not where do you think the children might be? It was not do you know who might have taken them? The very first question RCMP asked Daniel Martell on that polygraph was this: did you kill Lilly and Jack? Read that again. Did you kill them? Not did you take them. Not do you know who took them? Did you kill them? Police do not open a polygraph with that question in a missing persons case. They open with that question when the evidence they already have points toward a homicide. RCMP walked into that room already treating these children as potential victims of a killing, and the first person they sat down was the man who slept in their house the night they vanished. Martell says he passed the polygraph. RCMP has never officially confirmed the results. Not once. Not in 10 months. They have not cleared him. They have not charged him in connection with the children. They have said nothing. And that silence is its own kind of answer. Number 2. The timeline that no one can fully account for. This is where the facts become a puzzle, and the puzzle has a piece missing. On the evening of May 1st, 2025, Malahia Brooks Murray, the children's mother, put Lilly and Jack to bed. Her first statement to police said she did this at 9 p.m. Her second statement said 10 p.m., 1 hour difference. For most people, that would be an innocent mistake. Memory under stress is unreliable. Trauma distorts time. But here is what happened in those hours that followed. A witness, whose identity has been legally protected, told investigators they saw 2 small children walking along a road near the property on the morning of May 2nd. Not inside the property, on the road and near those children. A vehicle was waiting. Not driving, not passing through. Waiting, parked, engine possibly running. A vehicle that someone had positioned there, at exactly the right location, at exactly the right time. Now ask yourself a simple question. How does a vehicle know to wait on a specific road for 2 specific children at a specific time in the early morning hours, unless someone told it to be there? And who had that information? Who knew those children would be on that road? Who knew exactly when to have a vehicle waiting? The answer to those questions lives somewhere inside that investigation, and RCMP is not sharing it. But the witness testimony does not stop there. The night before the disappearance, people living near the property reported hearing a vehicle they did not recognize, not passing through, idling, waiting. The same pattern, the night before and the morning of. A vehicle that should not have been there, waiting for something or someone. Court documents unsealed in October 2025 confirmed that RCMP reviewed surveillance footage from multiple cameras along Gairloch Road, covering a 4-day window. Starting April 28th, 4 days before the children vanished. Why 4 days? What were investigators looking for in the days before May 2nd? What did they see on that footage? We do not know. RCMP has not said, but search dogs were deployed. Trained tracking animals with one job: follow the scent. They followed it, across the property, through the tree line, and then they stopped. At the road, they lost the trail at the road. When a trained search dog loses a human scent at a road, there is one explanation that covers nearly every case. The subject got into a vehicle. A 4-year-old and a 6-year-old do not climb into strange vehicles alone. Not at night, not in rural Nova Scotia, not without someone putting them there. Someone loaded those children into a vehicle and drove away. And the question that has haunted this investigation for 10 months is who was driving. Number 1. The thing that nobody in mainstream media will say out loud, not in a headline, not in a press release, but it is sitting inside every document, every court record, every interview, for anyone willing to look. At some point before May 2nd, 2025, Child and Family Services became involved with this family. A file was opened, supervised visits were mandated. Let me explain what that means. Child and Family Services is a government agency. Its entire purpose, its only purpose, is the protection of children. When that agency opens a file on a home, it means something was flagged, a concern was raised. Someone looked at that household and said, "These children may not be safe." And when supervised visits are mandated, it means something further. It means the agency looked at the adults in that home and determined that they cannot be trusted alone with those children. Supervised visits are not a casual recommendation. They are a legal intervention. They mean a government body has assessed the risk level in that home and decided it is high enough to require oversight. And yet, on the night of May 1st, 2025, Lilly Sullivan, age 6, and Jack Sullivan, age 4, were in that home with those adults, unsupervised. How? How does a government agency flag a home as potentially unsafe, open a formal file, mandate that children must not be left alone with the adults in that house, and then 2 of those children vanish into the night without a single Amber Alert? No notification to neighboring provinces, no broadcast emergency, no interruption of radio signals, no message sent to every phone in Nova Scotia saying, 2 children are missing and we believe they are in danger. Nothing. Lilly and Jack's grandmother, their own grandmother, has spoken publicly about this. She is calling for a full public inquiry, not just into what happened to the children, but into every decision made by every government authority. In the weeks and months before May 2nd, she believes the system failed her grandchildren. She believes the warning signs were there. She believes that if the right people had acted on what they already knew, those children might still be here today. And Daniel Martell, the man who lived in that home, the man alleged to have committed violent crimes in that household in the months before those children disappeared, stood in a courtroom on March 2nd, 2026. He said nothing. He is due back in court on March 30th, less than 4 weeks away, and RCMP has confirmed the investigation into Lilly and Jack Sullivan's disappearance remains active. They are still looking. 10 months later, $150,000 still sits unclaimed. And somewhere out there, someone knows what happened to a 6-year-old girl and her 4-year-old brother. Someone woke up this morning knowing. Someone will go to sleep tonight knowing, and Lilly and Jack Sullivan are still waiting. If you are watching from Nova Scotia, if you know anything, if you heard something, if you saw something, if someone told you something they should not have, the RCMP tip line for this case is still active. The reward is still there. The investigators are still listening. And if this video helped you understand why this case matters, why it is more complicated than any headline has told you, why it deserves your attention, then subscribe. Not for me. For them. The next court date is March 30th, 2026. I will be here when something happens. Keep Lilly and Jack's names alive. That is the least we can do.